Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? My name is Mistermoose, and today we are back in the garage with a little more Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Alright, so I took the weekend off, needed to rest and recharge my batteries a little bit, but we are back. And last week's theme was Fords and trucks. So this week's theme, it's going to be Chevys, and we're going back to the 50s, more specifically 57. Now I know what you're thinking, Moose, you've already done the Bel Air. I know, but I haven't done this Bel Air. No, we haven't done this one. Not a Nomad. That's what we are going to be working on today. One of the coolest cars from 57. I love this thing, man, because it's a wagon, but it's not really a wagon. You know, it's not that boxy, ugly station wagon like a Ford was. No, this thing is cool and hip, and that's the reason surfers loved it back in the day. You can throw your boards back in the back, put your buds in the back seat, head on down to the beach, catch some waves. I feel like we ought to have some Beach Boys music running during this, but yeah. Great looking car. It's going to be a fun one to build out. You know who else loved this car? Hot Rodders. And since they loved it, we're going to build a hot rod version of it this week as well. Yeah, a little street rod with supercharged V8 in it. It'll be a lot of fun. It'd be awesome. You know what would be better than that? Is we built like a dragster. Oh, so yeah, we're going to build a gasser as well this week. Oh man, a 57 gasser. It's going to be a fun week. I hope you guys enjoy it. So we'll do all three variations. We thought the Impala was cool. This one is so much more. Can't wait to do this build, man. So this is a car that I really thought was missing from the game and was really hoping somebody would mod. Fulysic has done this for us, and the 57 Chevy Nomad comes in two different variations. You got two different files you can download. One is the stock here, and then you can also get these two in their own separate mod. The link for Fulysic's workshop is in the description below. It is on the Steam forums. You just go into the CMS 18, click on discussions. When you're in the discussion board, just go over to the right, go to modding discussion or modding forums, and look for Fulysic's workshop, and that's where you'll find these cars to download. But two separate links. Again, the first link is going to be this car here, and the other link is going to be for these two cars over here. So just make sure you guys understand that. Now, I picked these three cars up specifically. I picked them up in different variations. This one I got out of a junkyard, and it's just a complete heap. I paid $30,000 for it, which seems like a whole lot of money for it, but it's still $26,000 as it sits right now. I know that's ridiculous for the value of the car and everything, but that's the way the game is, okay? It's an overinflated economy. This one I got out of the auction house, though. This was a 2-star in the auction house. I paid like $44,000 for it, $46,000 maybe even. But it's $44,000 as it sits right now, and as you can see, it has the V8 2-carb overhead cam supercharged engine in it. So that one's going to be a lot of fun to build out a big blown V8 on it. And then this over here, this is our more stock version, though it is not completely stocked. When I popped the hood on this, I was rather shocked to see a dual overhead cam engine in it. Now, this car, when released in 55 and all the way up through the whole Tri-5 era, 55, 56, and 57, would have had a V8 265 in it. And then you would have had subtle variations of that, like a two-barrel carburetor, 4-barrel carburetor, even a limited number of fuel-injected engines. Maybe that's what he's going with this one being fuel-injected. Or maybe he's just taking the liberty for this to be, you know, a modernized version of the 57, where somebody bought this car and decided to tune it up and make it more modern, put a crate motor in it, put disc brakes on it, all that good stuff. You know, there are those out there who do it. There's purist, and then there are enthusiast. Enthusiast will buy a car and they will modernize it and make it hip, whereas purist will fix a car up and make everything you know, as close to original as possible. So not really sure what he's going for here with it, but who cares? Because it's right-hand drive, and that just ruins it for me right there anyways. Maybe he's European or Australian, you know? But, yeah. Yeah, when I saw right-hand drive on, I was like, oh, man, you're killing me. Anyways, let's go ahead and pull out the drive shaft, pull the motor, all that good stuff, and we'll get going on this guy. So I hope you guys enjoyed the build. If you do, as always, smack that like button for me, share the comments, or share the videos with your friends, comment down below, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel for me. Speaking of subscribing to the channel, thank you to everybody who has subscribed in the last 30 days. And just overall, thanks for the subs, period, guys. You guys just have blown me away. I cannot believe how much this channel has grown in the last 30 days. Over 10,000 subscribers in the last 30 days. And that's unreal. And thank you so much. Welcome to all the new folks. But thank you to everybody who has helped this channel grow. And I do appreciate it. And because of that, this week we will be doing some more giveaways as we've reached that 40,000 milestone. And I like to just share the love and give back to you guys when I hit those little milestones like that. You know, one thing I've noticed is it seems like all the modded cars don't have oil in them, regardless of where you get it from. Auction house or wherever, it doesn't seem like any of them have oil in it. God, I hate that menu system. So annoying. Alright, let's put that down on the ground. Let's go grab this guy here. As soon as that's down, we can actually move it. Come on. Alright, so pop the hood. And we will go ahead and... Did I tell you how much this one was worth? Let's see. I told you how much those two are worth. Anyways, I bought this one out of the auction house. I paid $74,000 for it. It was worth $70,000 when I got it to the garage. Of course, that price has now changed since I've pulled the engine and the transmission out of it, so it doesn't do me any good to go show it to you. But that's where we're at with it. And it does seem like it's really high priced. I thought maybe it was because of the engine in it, but the other two are pretty high priced as well. So it just could be the way he put it in the game. You know, I had this with the Impalas. The Impalas were quite high priced as well. So... And then an adjustment came out the next day, and you know, I lost a ton of money on it. So I expect to lose money on these. Don't be surprised if an update comes out tomorrow and all of a sudden this car, instead of being worth $70,000, is worth about, you know, $1,700. So just, that is what it is. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this going. Let's get the suspension done, and then we'll get going. I'm probably going to do the suspension on all the cars, and then we'll just we'll do like the motor builds and take it that way. Like, so today I'll do the suspension on this one, and probably, unless there's something crazy different on all the other ones, I'll probably just build those away from the not record the building of those and just do those real quick and get them out of the way, and then we'll just focus on the motors on the other two. Probably what I will do. Someone suggested over the weekend that I consider doing time lapse. Nah, might as well not even record it if I'm going to time lapse it. I just don't like to do that, you know. I've told you, I'd like to just take it from point A to point B and all the way to finish and record it in real time. And that way, if I make a mistake, you see my mistakes, learn from my mistakes, and I make plenty of them. I don't pretend to be, you know, perfect at all this stuff. I'm gonna make my mistakes, and I'm not gonna edit them out, you know. And it is what it is. If I lose my mind in the middle of a video and I go, oh man, I lost $20,000 or whatever, you know, I'm gonna leave it in there because, you know, it is what it is. All right, so tie rod out. There we go. We'll get that out. I've never been one to like time lapse stuff, because I kind of view it too like I don't know who's watching. You know, you may have already seen this a dozen times. Each time I do a video, you've probably already seen it, and you've probably memorized the whole suspension off of it. But there could be somebody who's never watched any of these videos. They haven't ever seen anything about the game, and they haven't seen a single part of it. And this might be the first exposure they get to the game, so time lapsing it, I might be jipping them. So I tend to like to just leave it whole, and it may not be everybody's cup of tea, and if it's not, I understand that. And there's a whole bunch of channels out there on YouTube, so those who bear with it, thank you, appreciate it. All right, let's sort through and see what we repaired up, what we didn't repair up, and we'll go by the rest of it. Bottom suspension arms, good. Calipers are good. Cylinders are good. We, of course, need vented bricks and pads. Our covers are good. Knuckles are good. Cross member is good. Sway bar B we need. The hubs are good. Tie rods, of course, need replaced. We need 12 bushings. The steering rack is good. Bar link B, upper suspension arms are good. Oh, we really don't have a whole lot we have to replace. That's nice. I just a benefit of buying a 3-star out of the auction house as well. I picked the car out of the auction house specifically though because I don't think you would buy this car in a junkyard. You'd be hard pressed to find a car like this in a junkyard. This is a highly sought after collectible with car clubs all over the nation, all over the world. It's not a car that you look out and find these. You know, you'll find them in some farmer's field or in a barn, or you know, maybe it's somebody bought one and they were going to repair it up and fix it up, and they had these ambitions of making a hot rod or whatever, and they just never had the money, or health fell on them, hard times came upon them, whatever the reason, they just didn't get it done, right? And so, you know, that's where you're going to find it, you know, or somebody botched a job and decided they were way over their head in it or something. I mean, that's how you're going to find this car. It's not going to be something where you find it and it's sitting in a junkyard. So I decided I would go that route with, you know, this for the most part. Now, the dragster I couldn't find in the auction house, and I thought, you know what, since this is a specialty deal, you know, being a dragster, it'd be all right to get it out of the junkyard. So all right, let's go and get that. But yeah, this variant's getting way overpriced for the game, because the Bel Air fixed up is only worth about 60,000-70,000, something like that, if I remember. So for this one to start right at that, it's just really overpriced. Oh, I didn't do my suspension again. Reached over here and looked at it and thought, oh, messed up again. See, mistakes are made. It's not really a mistake, but it sort of is. Make our springs up. Come on. There you go. So yeah, this week we're going to do some giveaways. We'll do them in the live streams, as well as I'm going to give away a couple of copies of the game just out of the video, because you know, so many people have started watching the videos that don't watch the live streams, so I understand that. And my live streams haven't been real consistent lately, thanks to the fine folks at Mediacom, the absolute worst cable company in America. But this week we're going to give away Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. And to do that, I just want you to comment in the video down below and say something to the effect of, I love CMS 18. Enter me to win. You put that down below in the comments, and I will I'll enter you for a drawing. And let's see, on I'd say Friday, but let's go Monday. Let's give it a nice long week for people to enter. Let's say a week from or on Monday, we will announce the winner. I was going to say a week from today. That's when I'm actually recording this. It might not get up on Monday. It'll probably get up on Tuesday. So yeah, we'll on Monday we will give away a couple of copies of the game. I'll announce the winners then. So that give everybody plenty of time to enter. And for me to tabulate all the names and everything. But yeah, we'll give away a couple of copies. And then also if you can catch the live streams this week, which will probably be around 6 o'clock all this week. I'm trying to get started early around 4. But it might be a little bit later. Just to be safe, I'll say 6 o'clock-ish. We'll start doing the giveaways. I don't want to be right up on there like that. Come on now. There we go. But yeah, if I start early, I start early. But if I'm going to do a car mechanic, it'll probably be in the evening. Around 6-ish. And we probably will do some car mechanic live streams this week quite a bit because we got the whole tuning DLC coming out this week on the 5th. Really looking forward to that. And I know a lot of you guys are too. That'll give us our dyno and the ability to tweak things. Performance parts, I'm guessing. And the whole new little box thing where after you complete a job, you get a box, and in the box may have a part that you can add to a car and increase the value to it. So some sort of rewards program. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I haven't done too much reading on it. I figure when I get it, I'll figure it out then, you know. But looking forward to that, and I know a lot of you guys are too. Put that in there like so. Put our pads on and then put our brake caliper on. Oops, not yet. Alright, so that gets that done. And we'll go to the back here. Huh. This thing doesn't have a leaf spring on it. So this is a modified. Yeah, no drums on this baby. Somebody has definitely remodified this thing. Because this would have had, you know, solid rear axle on it and would have a Pods track rear end on it most likely, and drum brakes. Would have had drums on the front too, but so yeah, somebody's gone in and modified this one. So it's not stock, but it's still cool. Let's go ahead and take shocks off. And we'll take these suspensions off. If I remember correct, the bushings on this is 8 regular bushings and 4 small bushings. I have to test my memory on this. Pretty sure that's what it is. This being the more complex rear end in the game. I got a little bushing there that's got to come out. There we go. And we'll go and get this off. So yeah, the game plan for today, we'll go ahead and finish out this running gear on this one. Get the suspension all wrapped up, replaced on it. And then tomorrow we'll start the motor build. And like I said, I'll go ahead and do the suspensions on the other two, or at least after we get this one built out, we'll take a look at the other two and see what they are. If there's anything special on them, maybe I'll build them out in the video. The only one I could think would be special, since this one's been modified, would be the gasser. The gasser would be the only one where you'd really do anything crazy with it. Like the front end would have like a solid axle underneath it instead of independent suspension on it. Typically, people who modify cars like this for a gasser would get rid of that independent suspension and they put a solid axle underneath there. Lifts the body up a little bit, and then it also just gives them more control. You don't have that flex in there. But then again, there might not be one in the game that he could put in there. So that may not be the case. If it's not the case, then I'll build all the undercarriages out and just recap it with you guys. Fuel tank, fuel pump, fuel tank, good stuff. All right, to the table we go. Let's do a little thing. As of now, no update in the game. Still on 1.3.8, which we talked about a little bit last week. I did forget to mention that on 1.3.8, you do now have the ability to go in and change your key bindings. So you can do custom key bindings on it, which is kind of nice. All right, see what we got here. Both calipers are good. Cylinders are good. We'll need new disc and new pads. Let's see. We're looking at rear axle knuckles are good. Shock absorbers need replaced. Those are A's. Caps and springs all the way around. The cap on the bottom cap probably is going to be good. Suspension arm's good. Upper suspension arm's good. The B is good. Cross member's good. Upper arms are good. Rear hub's good. Sway bar B we're going to need. Then we're going to need bushings. Bottom caps are good. And then we should need the rear links. Those are good. We need a couple more bearings and a couple of caps. Wow. We repaired just about everything on that. That's awesome. We lucked out. So we don't need that. We don't need that. We do need two of these. And a couple of those. And then under suspension, we're going to come down here and need two of these. Said B on that, right? All right, so I think it's 8 of these and 4 of these. 4, not 5. 2 of those. There we go. Is that everything? I got the shock right. I think that's it. Well, oh, you know what? I was going to do the fuel tank too, so forgot it. And we'll go engine. Let's grab that. There we go. And try to do this in somewhat of a logical manner. So we'll put these in, put all the bushings in. And while I'm at it, I'll just go ahead and tap the fuel tank in. Get that done and out of the way so we don't forget it. Alright, so each of the bushings goes in. There you go. Alright, so I'm thinking the next thing I would do, I'd throw the sway bar on here and get it in place, because once I start hanging all the other stuff on here, the sway bar is going, you're not going to be able to get that sway bar up in there. So put the sway bar in and then put the knuckle housing up there. I would go ahead and mount this arm to it and then mount the arm to the frame. That way you could swing it up in there and then, let's see, put the upper arm in, I guess, to give it some stabilization. put this one in. Now we're hung up there. And then come around to the back, we'll put the small bushing in. And put the rear arm in. That's good. Let's go ahead and put the end link on there for the sway bar. And then we go ahead and put the spring cap on. Spring and cap. Oh, did I not buy the springs? Oops. Oh, there's something I forgot. Forgot the cap and the springs. Moose has failed. I was, you know, I sat there thinking, it seems like I didn't buy enough. Sure enough, I didn't. Let's go over to the side. Put the shock in. Alright, let's take that nasty one out. Put in our hub, put the bearing in after that. Yep. And then we put the little cap in there. Put our dirt cover in there, whatever it is. And that will get this side done. Right? Pretty sure that's everything on this side. So now we get over here and do this side. Alright, so let's repeat the process that we did before. Put the rear suspension arm in. I wonder if you go by the letters. Rear suspension arm. They can do rear suspension arm A. I don't know. Oh, see, that's the wrong one. That's B. Oh, I didn't buy enough small rubber bushings. I thought it was 8 and 4, but I guess it's 8 and 8. Huh. Well, let me buy a couple more. Because I know I need a few more, so it must have been 8 and 8. I was off. I don't build this rear end enough. Yeah. Alright, since we had that one wrong anyways, let's try to get it right over here. Let's put the small rubber bushing in here. And then put suspension arm A in place first. And then we can put this one in. That would actually give it some hang. Alright. Our shock absorber in. Sway bar in link. And then we'll put our cap in. Springs. Spring cap. And then we'll put our brake dust cover on. Hub. Bearing, cap, all that good stuff. Cool. All right, so we got the suspension in there. That is good. Go ahead and break some wheels down. See if we can fix these rims. And then we'll buy some new rubber to put on the bottom of it. Now, of course, as always, guys, you know, for those who are right now wondering, how come he did do the frame first? I hold off until the end. That way you don't spoil the reveal of what the car is going to actually look like. So... I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? is some people yell. I get yelled at on both sides of it, you know, and I just try to do the car, you know, in a way where it's going to be somewhat interesting, you know. And if you show all the eye candy off in the beginning, I guess it sort of loses its peak interest on it. I mean, looking at it right now, you sort of get an idea, but you don't really have a true vision of it, especially on this 2-star over here. You know, you don't have it. You have to kind of use your imagination a little bit. Or if I go ahead and hit the welder, you're going to see most of the body looking pristine and everything, and there's not a whole lot left of the imagination. So that's the reason I don't do it. But I don't know. Let's see, hubs, where you at? There, rims are good. Excellent. So we're using 18s on it. I see an offset on that. 18B, 20 inches. All right, so they're 20s. And what tire was on it? Oh, come on. Sport tire, 235, 50 20s. All right. 235, 50 20s is what we're putting on it. So even the tires, he's taking some liberty with the tires on it. So putting some sport tires on it. 235, 50s. Like I say, there's, you know, you got your purist, you've got your enthusiast, and they're, you know, they're going to butt heads there on how you fix up one of these cars, you know. There are those who say everything has to be stock. And then there are those who say, hey, I'm going to modernize it, you know. Brakes especially, man. Brakes... Usually the brake and the engine are the two things that everybody modernizes, you know, and but brakes especially, because can I only buy one tire? Man, I am just off my game. So that's what happens. You take a couple of days, don't play, you come back, you've lost it. Forgot to buy all 4 of them. Mistakes are made. Notorious for that, aren't I? All right. That's gonna look good. Got some nice rims on it. It's gonna look good. I'd like to have an old Nomad. It'd be cool. Especially the fact that was the worst lug nut pattern I've ever done in this game. Living down here at the beach, it'd be cool to have a Nomad. Cruising down the strip in it. Alright, let's go ahead and sling that on there and redeem ourselves on our lug nut pattern here. I still wish you could torque things in the game, though. Yeah, that's kind of the way I am. I do like the star pattern, and then after I do the star pattern, then I get my torque wrench out and torque them all up all the way around. Anyways. Alright, suspension is done. Fuel tank is in. Let's go ahead and pull the radiator out. It's got an intercooler on the front too. I gotta get that from under the car, don't I? Boy, he really modernized this car. Putting an intercooler in it. I think all of that repaired up. Only thing I'm going to need is the filter, it looks like. But let's go by arrival on this and we'll verify. Good. Needs charged. Yeah, I just need the air filter. Grab that out of here real quick. And we'll run over here and charge the battery real quick. And then all we'll have to do is fix the engine up and throw it in there. Which, as I said, we will do in tomorrow's version. Alright, so let's go put the brake servo back in. Or as we know as the master cylinder. And the booster pump. And then we'll put the ABS in. It's good. The fuel pump is on the motor. Well, not fuel pump, fuel filter is on the motor. There we go. Put our fuel air filter base in. I got the fuel filter on the line now. And we'll get our little clips on here. Very nice. Yep. Alright, so put the battery in there. That's good. And the last thing, I'll pull that intercooler out and we'll knock on it a little bit, see what needs to be done with that. Grab it out, go over here, get it done so we don't forget about it. I'll leave the exhaust system for later when we put the motor in, because I wouldn't hang the exhaust system until I hung the motor. So, all right, we are done. That is a good start for us. Where are we at value-wise on this? 63,632. This thing is going to be really expensive when done. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it today. That's going to do it for this edition. And like I said, we were going to look at the suspension on these other three real quick. Other two, excuse me. 3 being that it's a trifecta. Alright, come on. This one lifts up and doesn't even get the suspension off the ground. That's great. He does have it lifted like a gasser would be, but it's just got a strut rear end on it. It doesn't have a solid axle on the front here. So he does have it, like I said, he does have it lifted, so the body is lifted up, but it doesn't have that whole axle. So I'll go ahead and build this out. This is a little crazy looking, little not true right. I mean, the whole idea for, like I said, the whole idea for putting a solid rear axle or a solid front axle in it is you can lift up and get the frame a little bit higher off of it. And usually they'll change out and put little scrawny tires on the front, big drag tires on the back. That suspension, nothing special about it. Standard. And this one's got the leaf springs on the back. So this suspension is stock for what you would expect. That's a little bit different. I would have thought if this one had a modified rear end on it, this one would too. But then again, you want positive traction rear end on a street rod and on a dragster. So I'm sure this is also, yeah, this has got the leaf springs on it. So interesting combination rear end on this one. All right, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit the like button for me. Leave a comment down below. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to put I love CMS 18. Enter me to win if you want a copy of the game. All right, and again, we'll give the game away and announce the winner next Monday. Until then, everybody, stay safe. Have yourself a great day. Actually, until tomorrow. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I will see you in our next video. Bye bye.